is really honed down.
Oh, yes.
And the story shines through. So yeah. I'm a huge fan of children's literature. And because of the topic, which is, you know, the need for kindness in our world, I think that's a very relevant topic today. Yeah. So as I said, I'm terrifically excited to see that book on the head of the bestseller list and to know that all over Vermont, a lot of people are going to be reading it.
Does the Department do a lot to promote Vermont writers within the state?
Does the Department of Libraries really promote Vermont writers? It's nowhere in our founding legislation, but we're certainly very interested in it. And you know, as I do, that there are writers in every corner of the state, particularly if we open the door and include self-published authors. So I would say our first task is to promote libraries rather than the writers themselves, but that we're certainly very interested.
Well, you can't disconnect the two.
It's true, it's true. Libraries, books, the people who write them.
We're pounding on the doors. Yes, you can add one more book in there.
Yeah. It's been my experience, though, that the independent bookstores, which actually sell the books, do a great job on keeping up with Vermont writers. I think better, at least, than my agency does. Perhaps not better than the local public library, who certainly tracks who the local authors are. But you know, the other thing is, people like Archer Mayer or Chris Bojalian, they have a national presence. You know, they are Vermont authors, but they are, Reeve Lindbergh, they are definitely out in the world. They have great following across the country. So that's an issue too. This year, actually, on the Dorothy Canfield Fisher list, we have more Vermont writers than usual. And I don't think the committee was particularly seeking them out. It's just that they're fabulous writers. So Joe Knowles is one of them. Sarah Stewart Taylor is another. And I think I'm missing someone. There's a third Vermont author.
Nancy Means Right, by any chance?
Possibly. It's gone. What can I tell you? I should have prepared better. But I think there are 3 Vermont authors on that list. And pretty much you can walk into any school library and any public library and ask about the Dorothy Canfield Fisher list, and they'll get you to it. And each of the books on that list has a 2-line annotation, 2 or 3-line annotation, which is great. You know, if you're looking for something to bring home, either for yourself or for your children, then you've got a little bit of a snapshot there to see whether it's your kind of book. You know, is it a dog story? Okay, then.
Oh, yeah. Actually, what I'd like to know more about, how do people choose books?
I can tell you that.
Because you're just knocking around in the airport or someplace, you got to buy something to read. And does the cover jump out at you, or do you?
I know that there are books I have not read because of the cover, and that's been a terrible thing that I had to get over. You know, people had to come after me again and again. Because I've been reading so long, there are authors I love. I also keep an eye out for reviews, so I take a look at the New York Times Book Review. There are library review magazines. Most libraries get those. So I read Book List, Library Journal, School Library Journal, and that's how most public libraries are buying their books, by keeping informed about what things are coming down the road. And of course, there's also a big trade-off in, for example, Ender's Game is coming out in a movie. I mean, that's been a fabulous book for years and years, but now there's a whole new readership based on the fact that the movie is getting a lot of press.
Probably including me. I never did read it.
Oh my gosh, well, you have missed a very exciting book. So I would say that the big thing that turns me on to new authors is talking to people about books. And for me, that's often librarians. You know, we talk about the things we love, and we say to each other, have you read anything good lately, or is there anything I should know about? And then keeping up with the media. When I drive, I often listen to the radio. Nancy Pearl, there's a one-woman review source right there. So lots of ways.
Lots of information out there. I do believe we're running out of our time already.
Okay.
And I'd like to thank Amy Howlett, Vermont Public Libraries, for sharing some of her knowledge here. And I'd like to thank you for watching. And also, I am open to guests. If you've got comments, if you'd like to come on, if there's a topic you'd like to have discussed, you should go to www.seitzbooks.com and go to the contact page and put Book Talk in the subject line, and we'll take it from there. Once again, Amy, I do appreciate your taking the time and coming all the way from Chester to be with us today.
You're very welcome.